When we talk about leadership, what's the one skill that really makes everything else work? It's communication, right? It's the engine that drives strategy. It's how we collaborate. It's how we turn ideas into reality. So let's just start with a quick check-in. How do you really feel about your own communication skills right at this moment? Think about your last really important meeting, the one with high stakes. When you had to make your point, did you feel completely in command, clear? Or was there that little bit of doubt, that feeling that your message, as great as it was, could have landed with just a little more punch? And hey, this isn't just about big presentations in the boardroom. It's the everyday stuff too. The hundreds of emails we send, those critical phone calls, the quick updates that absolutely have to be understood the first time. Are those things really working for you? Or does it sometimes feel like you're fighting against them to get your point across? If any of that sounds familiar, well, you're definitely not alone. So many professionals get to a point where they realize the skills that brought them this far just aren't going to cut it for the next level. They're looking for that upgrade. They want to go from just being heard to being truly influential. So, if you're looking for that next step, let's talk about what that really looks like. What we're talking about here is a path to real, earned confidence. This isn't about memorizing a few buzzwords, no way. This is an intensive program designed to build not just your skills, but the actual courage to use them, especially when the pressure is on. So who's this for? Well, it's definitely designed for first line and middle management. But honestly, it's for anyone who looks at their career and thinks, I want my communication to be my superpower. If you're ready to lead with more impact, this is your game plan. And that game plan is a 2-day deep dive. Think of it as a structured journey. We're going to start with the fundamentals and then build up to the real art of masterful communication. Let me show you how it all breaks down. Okay, take a look at this. There's a real logic to how this is structured. Day 1 is all about building a rock-solid foundation. We're talking the how-to of clear writing and, this one is huge, the power of active listening. Then on day 2, we level up. We get into the subtleties of verbal and nonverbal cues, and we introduce some really powerful tools, like the Socratic method, which is all about asking smart questions to get to the heart of an issue. It's a shift from just talking at people to actually creating understanding with them. And that brings us to one of my favorite parts of this whole thing, the unspoken. Because we've all been in a room where what isn't being said is way more important than what is, right? We're going to get into how to read and use the language of your hands, your facial expressions, your posture. I mean, think about it. You can say I'm open to feedback, but if your arms are crossed tightly, what message are you really sending? This is all about making sure your body language doesn't just support your words, it actually makes them more powerful. The goal is simple: communicate with total alignment. So how do you actually learn all this stuff? This is so important. It's not a lecture. I mean, you can't learn to swim by reading a book about it, right? You have to get in the water. That's what this is. It's a hands-on experience, because that's how these skills go from just an idea to a natural instinct. So we use a whole mix of strategies to make sure this stuff sticks. We'll break down real-world case studies. We'll practice tough conversations through role play, which is kind of like a flight simulator for communication, and we'll even use some gamification to lock in the learning. This isn't about memorizing things for a test, it's about building communication muscle memory. So after these 2 days, what's the actual result? What do you walk away with? It's about making a real shift to becoming a truly effective communicator who's armed with a whole new set of skills. Here are the big takeaways. You'll leave with proven templates that take the guesswork out of important emails and messages. Your interpersonal skills will be sharper, making every conversation more productive. And you'll know how to use technology not as a crutch, but as a tool to make your communication even more powerful. So here we are, back at the beginning. The path is laid out, the tools are practical, and the results are real. The question isn't just about learning a few new things. It's about deciding to fundamentally change how you show up as a leader, to make communication your most powerful asset. The only question left is, are you ready?